Please like and subscribe to my channel for videos on astrology, philosophy, spirituality, and also follow me on Instagram.
Astrology is something that's extremely interesting for me. I've been very skeptical my whole life. I don't know how stars that's so far away can influence my life here. So can you give me a
Yes.
brief, like, basic introduction to astrology and why it isn't all the stuff that we hear about in the West? Like, it's something deeper.
Yeah, so basically, like how we cast a horoscope is when a person is born, certain planetary positions are aligned during that time. So when you are born, the sign that is at the eastern horizon becomes your first house. So that means that becomes your own personality, the body that you are going to get, and whichever planet is sitting there influences your personality and everything. Same way, then there is the western direction. It is the spouse, the people you are going to meet, the partners you are going to make in your business or whatever. So that way the entire horoscope is mounted. And but the thing is that we get, according to the Jain philosophy, we are here born because of our karma, good
Yeah.
or bad, but we are born because of our karma. And the horoscope, the planets only show us the path that we are going to lead. It is called as a nimitta gyan in Sanskrit.
Okay.
Nimitta means it's a medium. Like it is
Yeah.
not, the planet are not exactly influencing us. They are just showing the signs that these are the things that are going to happen in your life. But whatever happens in our life is because of our karma, and
Okay.
the planets have nothing to do with them. They are just showing us the signs. They are just like a map. They are showing us the map, but the we are going to walk on the map through our own self, and not because of the planets.
Yeah,
So
so I think this is where the confusion occurs. Well, not confusion,
yeah,
misunderstanding. Where how, like, again, like, how can these stars, as you said, if I was born at this time, the stars on the east is the house that I live in, it's the personality. Like, how does that
yeah.
make sense? Is that only apply to humans? Does that apply to all animals or anything that's living? Like, how does that
Because they have
actually?
a fixed system. Like every day we see the sun rises and sets, the moon. It's all positioned automatically. Like in
Okay.
Jainism, we don't have a creator or
Yeah.
someone who is managing everything. So
Correct.
it is just natural thing that they go around as they are.
Hmm.
But through them, we can just understand things like what is going to happen, what not. Same way, there are many different things like numerology. Like
Hmm.
we see some numbers, and through those numbers, we realize that okay, this might happen, that might happen. So it's just like many popular omens are there. Bad omen, good omen. Like the most popular is the cat
Yeah.
crossing the road,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
people say it's a bad omen.
Yeah.
So yeah, astrology is kind of a more deeper, but it is a kind of this thing where you can just predict, but it doesn't mean you can change it because it's your karma. Whatever is happening is because of your karma and nothing to do with planets. So that's the biggest misunderstanding, and that's the reason people try to change the planets. People try to do all the stuff to planets. They make temples out of the planets, and they try to do puja, like they
Yeah.
try to worship the planets. But that's not going to happen anything. Like the planets are not doing it. They are just showing you the path. Through an astrologer who has knowledge about that, he tries to see, look at the planets and make a prediction. So
Okay. So, um, forgive me if I want to take this slowly because I really want to understand. So,
yeah,
so what you are trying to say to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that the planets just show us the path, right? When you're
yeah,
born, they show us that this is might happen in somebody's life. This is who they might meet, what they might do, what the careers they might
yeah,
actually take. But ultimately, it is our choice and our karmas, that our previous
yeah.
actions that will um, enable us to actually do whatever we want to do. Now, both of these things, the stars and my karma, seems like I don't have any personal choice. This is what it's sounding like. Now, am I right there or am I wrong there?
Because as per the Jainism, we don't really have much of a choice. We have to face our karmas. Like whatever the career we make, the family we get, the friends we get, all thing, even our body, how healthy we are going to be, how much we are going to live, is all dependent upon the punya and pap, the merit and demerit karma. that's there. So yeah, that's how it is determined. And whatever purusharth, whatever the action that we do, is everything in our thoughts. Like it's inside. Whatever action we can do, the outside world is going to happen as it is going to happen.
Mm.
But whatever the purusharth is from inside. It comes from within, like our thoughts.
So Purusharth would be effort, is that correct?
Yeah.
So okay, so let me again, I want to take this slowly. So the outside
Yeah.
world is predetermined. Is that what you're trying to say? The outside world,
Yeah, it is according to our karma. Yeah.
according to our karma and according to the planetary alignments, which wouldn't that be the same thing for?
Planetary alignment shows the karma, but the main
Yes.
point is karma.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the planetary, you will only be born on a specific day because of your karmic debt, right? And the planetary alignments just align to show what your karma is.
Yeah, because they have certain positions, and like for example, Saturn is going to be in the sign of Capricorn for 2.5 years. So
Yeah.
through that we can say that okay, Saturn is in the sign of Capricorn. For the Capricorn individuals, it will be a very not difficult or a good or bad time, but it will be very prominent time for Capricorn individuals. And next, after 2.5 years, it will go to Aquarius. So we can say the Aquarius individuals will face this time, but that doesn't mean that the Aquarius individuals can change it. Like they will have to face it. Like whatever they can change is in their own perception about what is
Yes.
going to happen. Like if someone says me that next year you are going to incur a huge loss in business,
Yeah.
so what can I do? I can be more careful, but if it is going to happen, it will happen. If it's in my karma, if I've done something bad in the past life, I will have to face it. So there's not much option there, but at least I will know. So I'll make up my mind. I'll focus myself into other things because I
Okay.
already know that I am going to face some problem maybe in this thing.
Okay. So perfect. So I think we're getting somewhere. So so events are predetermined, right? So
Predetermined, yeah.
events are predetermined by our karmic debt, which the stars show, because you can't see your karma. So the stars are a gateway or a portal into seeing our karmic debt that's been in the past through actions that we have taken in previous lives.
Yeah.
Correct?
That's what astrology is. Yeah.
Yes.
That's it.
Perfect. And we have to face them no matter what. But what we can change is our perception of that situation and how we tackle it. And so therefore we can change our emotional responses and our and I'm jumping ahead a little bit. So does that mean that we can then change our future karma that we are about to bind? Because in Jainism, I know that we bind karma. Yeah, correct. So like,
yeah, because our main goal is obviously the liberation. Moksha is our main goal.
Yeah.
So we should be focusing on that instead of focusing what is happening materially in our life.
Okay, so I want to just stop here for a second and talk about karma, because I think this is going to be a pivotal part of the conversation. And I think, were you born Jain, and have you?
Yeah, I was born Jain.
Yeah.
But we we were not very spiritual or anything. We in Jainism, especially in India, people are more ritualistic about Jainism or any other religion.
Yes.
So the philosophical aspect, I had no idea, which I came to know much later in life. Like not later, because I'm just 27. So when I was around 22, 23, I came to know about astrology more detail. And through astrology, then I somehow ended up with some good book of Jainism, and I started reading it. Then I ended up with listening to lectures of many pandits and monks, and then I started completely studying about. But I had studied Vedanta before Jainism. When I was around 20, I got in touch with Advait Vedanta, which Swami Vivekananda had very much popularized in the West,
in the USA.
So I found very many similarities between Advait Vedanta and Jainism. Of course, there are differences because that's the reason they are both different religion. But there are many similarities. Even they talk about self realization and soul and everything, but still there are many big differences.
What differences would you say that there are? Is it mainly the creator, destroyer, and
they believe in one thing is that Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya.
Yeah.
They believe that Brahman is the only reality and everything else is an illusion. It's a part of Brahman called as Maya. But Jainism doesn't say that. Jainism say there are 6 realities. Out
Yeah.
of it, even a table, they believe that even table is like a non-living thing is a part of Brahman.
Brahman.
While Jainism says no, soul is different and a table, matter is different. These are both different things, and they are just in a correlation because of the attachment. Because of our attachment, uh, we are attracting karma, and we are in getting in relation with the matter.
Yeah.
But apart from it, in the absolute viewpoint, we both are different. Soul and karma is different, and they say everything is same. So they say now that everything is one. We are one with everything. That's a very popular saying. They say we are one with everything
In Vedanta.
in Vedanta.
Yeah.
But Jainism says no, we are not one with everything. Every soul is different. For them, every soul is one.
Mm.
Everything is Brahman, and we have to realize that Brahman. And we say no, every soul is different. My soul is different. Your soul is different, and we all are going to achieve moksha whenever it is, but it's all different. So that's the major difference, and there are many minute differences, but this is a major difference. And they believe that everything came from Brahman. We believe that
Yeah.
universe is infinite.
Correct.
They believe that
Correct.
it came from Brahman. So that's a
Correct.
very big difference.
Yeah, the differences that I found is the whole creator, destroyer, and ending of the
Yeah, that
universe aspect. Like that is the big difference between Jainism and Vedanta or Hinduism in itself.
Vedanta.
But yeah, but and the whole idea of the universe being infinite, I think makes more sense to me than being a creator and a destroyer. Like maybe because that's the way I was brought up.
Yeah,
But and also because I'm a massive lover of physics and science as well. And even science is heading to the position that even before the Big Bang, there might have been countless or infinite Big Bangs before this one,
universe.
potentially.
So,
Yeah, in a scientific aspect.
and even they believe that there are infinite like universes.
Yes. There's a whole parallel universes. Correct. Yeah, which we can never
Yeah,
discover if you think about it that way, because
yeah.
you can never.
And Jainism says the same thing. There are
Correct.
infinite. We are just one small part of the infinite universes that are there. But there is a bigger difference that Jainism believes in a flat Earth,
Yeah.
while that's a difference. But of course, like Jainism was the scriptures were written like 2000 years back in some caves.
Even the flat Earth thing, I have been able to understand why. So just this is my perspective, and I could be wrong, but because what's been written is what I've read is like one of the Mahavishwami saw the Earth being flat, right? And obviously, if for Tirthankar, he can access a reality without time, and if you don't have
Because they are omniscient. Yeah,
correct, yeah. So if you can see three Kal, right, you can see past, present, and future.
yeah,
So
they can see everything. Yeah.
yeah. So if you can see the universe without time, then space will compress and everything will look flat. So from that perspective, the Earth would look flat because time is not an obstacle. That's just from
I
my
haven't thought about it, so yeah, yeah. But I've read one. I've listened to like I recently heard a lecture where he said that in a scripture of Jainism, uh, Jambudip Pragnapti, what was the name of the? I guess that was the name. It's written like 1,000 years back. They
yeah
say that yes, of course, Earth is flat, but some part of the Earth has just it's like when a person gets pimple, how it arises, what
yeah
arises.
yeah
So a small part has like has that thing has happened. So that appears to be a semicircle, and that might be the reason the scientists have discovered Earth as a circle.
yeah. To be honest, I don't know, and from because it's so
For
difficult
that,
for
we need
me.
to study the scriptures more. I
Yeah.
haven't done that part much. I focus more in the philosophical aspect, but it's very important to study cosmology also because Jain cosmology is very vast.
James cosmology is mind bending, mind blowing, and because we speak about parallel universes, we speak about different aspects of the
Yeah,
universe, and this is like 2,500, 3,000 years ago, when most people in the West believe the Earth to be the center of the universe, where Jain philosophy completely like it's more like how it is today than it was 2,500 years
yeah,
ago.
many things like Jainism always said that plants had life,
Yep.
and it was then proven. It was then proven. Then Jainism also says water has life, and I guess
Yep.
it is proven now.
Yep.
Stones, mountains, everything has life.
Yep.
So it will be soon proven that even a stone has life in it. Like gemstones and everything that has life. Until you remove them and do all the thing, then the life is gone. It becomes a
Correct.
dead body. But before that, it has life. So all these things have been proven. So that shows that obviously those acharyas who were meditating in caves knew something,
Correct.
and they got all that knowledge through just meditation in caves. Like
Yeah.
they had no technology, nothing,
Yeah.
and they knew so much things that they have written.
This is what I found really
Like
fascinating. Is that Mahaswami and all these acharyas and all these people that have come before us, they had no education system, they had no teachers in that
nothing,
sense, they
and
had no internet, they had no Google. Yet
nothing.
their knowledge is beyond comprehension. You know, like
And
Mahaswami was
another great
talking.
thing is,
Yeah,
yeah, there is no contradiction. Like if
yeah,
you read a book that is 1,000 years back, and if you read a book that is like 200 years back, the same thing is said. Like there are no contradictions
yeah, yeah,
that you can question. So acharyas of 200 years back during the Mughal era, and the acharyas during 2,000 years back or 1,500 years back, when kings were Jains, like Jainism was very
yeah,
prominent in India.
yeah.
Both are writing the same thing. There are no
Mm.
differences. So it also shows that the knowledge is knowledge. The truth is same. They are just saying it in different language. Like during that time, Prakrit was used. Then
Yeah.
Sanskrit came. Now mostly the books are written in English and Hindi, Gujarati, and those languages.
Yeah,
So only the
even
language has
cross,
changed. But
but even cross cultures, like even like Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, a lot of them is so similar. Like again, language can distort certain truths, but I think the essence is pretty much the same.
that's similar.
Self transcendence. Find
Yeah.
yourself, detach yourself
But
from
there
the
are
world.
some philosophical differences, like
Yeah,
just I talked about Vedanta and Jainism. Same way, Buddhism
yeah,
believes in Madhyam Marg, and another thing is they don't believe in a permanent existence.
correct.
While
Even the
Jainism says
soul,
that,
even the soul, they think is
yeah, even
it
the
keeps
soul is
changing.
temporary. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there is this philosophical difference. Like Jainism says, no, soul is permanent.
yeah.
The changes that are happening. The modifications are happening, but there is always a permanent reality behind it, which Buddhism doesn't believe in. They believe in shunya, like
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
So these are all philosophical huge differences in these three religions.
But for me personally, I think the philosophical differences are all intellectual. Like they're all for the intellectual mind, for the rational mind. And if you look at it
But they are very important.
from an experiential perspective, I think all three point to the same
But even
direction.
the experience will change, right? If
It
the
depends.
philosopher, if you don't believe in the permanent existence of soul,
Yeah,
when you experience the soul, what would you think about it? Like the experience will change if you don't believe in the philosophical.
it depends if you believe experience is beyond rationality. Because if your experience is beyond rationality and you're using rationality to explain the experience, you may explain it in this way. But essentially, well, it's heading you to a similar direction. And this is from my understanding. I could be wrong. And of course, there are differences. That's why that's why there's Buddhism, there's Jainism, and there's Vedanta or Hinduism.
Yeah, there is a huge
Yeah.
difference.
But I feel that in my opinion, the similarities are more stronger than the differences. The similarities,
Yeah,
in my opinion,
it depends
your
on
opinion could be
yeah.
true. And I think like I've read this book and it said like 1,000 years ago, Buddhism, Hinduism, and Jainism they take ideas from each other because the boundaries were porous and accommodating. Yeah, and but in a sense of gratitude, in a sense of let's share knowledge instead of let's see who's right. And I think that
No, no, of course. Yeah,
yeah, but I think that's because those three things can coexist. They can coexist,
yeah,
like in
that's
the
true.
same, which is something that isn't prominent in other
And it has
religions.
existed. Like in India,
Correct.
how all the religions of the world have coexisted. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
which
But
is something to
when
be
we
proud
think
of.
of more deeper philosophical way, then
Yeah,
like we have to find the truth. So we need to
correct.
study everything and think about it and experience it. So
Yeah, exactly. And I think like for me as well, like when I was younger, not even younger, like 2, 3 years ago, like I was always about the philosophical differences, like what is the philosophy, like getting deeper in the intellectual aspect of Jainism or of even the Abrahamic religions. But what I'm trying to do is to go beyond the intellect in some aspects and just experience things. And what the experience is, like you don't need to then speak about it and quantify it and qualitative it. You can just experience it. And I think that's what is so luxurious about Hinduism, Vedanta, Jainism, and Buddhism, that essentially it's an experiential way of living life. It's not an intellectual way of living life.
It's more about self-development instead of praising someone else.
Correct.
That's the
Correct.
biggest difference.
Yeah. Correct. But uh, yeah, is
Many of the even the ritualistic things are very similar
yes.
among these three religions. All monks talk about ahimsa, all talk
Correct.
about brahmacharya and
Hmm.
all those things. So there are
Exactly.
many similarities.